special season. I really do. And I think what they went through over that bye week with the loss of Nealand and how they've galvanized is real. Yeah. I also think we're getting contributions and plays that maybe we weren't getting in recent weeks and recent seasons. Last week, you were sitting in that chair, Swagu. You said the play of the day for them was this season-saving play by Elijah Clark on the punt return. Watch Clark. Gets banged around 3 times, 4 times, doesn't stop. And who causes the fumble? Elijah Clark. Yep. Sure enough, they're in a one-score game here. George Pickens fumbles the ball on Thanksgiving. Kavontae Turpin is Johnny on the spot and maybe saves the season by recovering the fumble. I texted a Cowboys source after this game. I said, CD, Dak, amazing. Their response was, the Turpin play. Make sure you highlight the Turpin play. It's those little things that are different, and they're happening on a week-to-week basis. Hey, guess what? Thursday, they play the Lions. I would expect more of that.
Yeah, what a coaching job by Brian Schottenheimer.
That's the key.
It just probably doesn't even, as much as we've said it, I don't even know if we could give him enough credit for what he's been.
A Black Friday game. It's a playoff atmosphere.
I mean, this has been really a poor job by the Eagles.
Hurts rose late, downfield, diving interception.
Eagles trying to get something going.
3rd and 1, tush push time. Bears have taken it away.
Can't turn the ball over. That really killed us.
This is a very, very disappointing performance by the Eagles.
No one ever said it was going to be easy. We got to embrace the challenge.
There is now a 3-way tie for the best record in the NFC at 9-3 with the Bears, Rams, and Seahawks. Look at these Bears.
How about that? After Thanksgiving, the Bears are the ones.
I just want people to pay attention to who in the hunt.
Okay, we see that. You're talking about those Cowboys there, right in the middle.
Keep an eye out.
Look at the right side of your screen, people. That's what Swagu wants you to see. 6-5-1. But anyway, this is the first time 3 teams were tied for a share of the best record in the conference entering December in the NFC since 2014. All right, RC, what do you see there?
Well, the big thing,
still over there.
They keep sitting me over here. And by the way, these seats are cold as a mofo.
Your mic not on.
My mic's not on.
There it is.
There it is. It's on.
That's punishment for being over in timeout.
Hey, I already know. Dan, listen, the Chicago Bears are one of those teams where people are thinking to themselves, are they really good? And they just continue to win. What's impressed you about the way they were able to go to Philly and walk out of there with the dub?
I have not seen anybody push Philly around the way that the Bears did. I think the Bears are staking claim to the best run game in football. I think, 1, with the motion and personnel, they waste defenders. And then 2, they're moving defensive linemen. So here goes the tight end in motion. DJ Moore is at the fullback position. Watch the bottom 3 players at the bottom of the screen. And also Jalen Carter. Jalen Carter gets moved 5 yards off the original line of scrimmage, and that motion leaves those 3 people. So you're not blocking 3 while also completely displacing one of the best defensive tackles in all of football. This time the tight end's at the fullback. Here comes the receiver in motion. Once again, we're going to waste people for the defense. Because DJ Moore is slicing backside and the tight end, 3 defenders are pulled. A defensive tackle is getting blocked into Quinyon Mitchell, who's covering the receiver in man-to-man, and you're just completely losing people from a defensive perspective. Tight end's going to come in motion. They're going to toss this ball to the tailback, but it's inside zone. So the defense, 5 guys are running outside to the perimeter thinking because of the toss, while you're chopping that backside defensive tackle, and there's another gigantic seam for DeAndre Swift to run through. I think all that stuff to look at with the motion, different personnel, and then the seams that are getting created while they're getting that vertical push, it's going to be brutal for teams in the back end of the stretch, and I think they're going to get into the playoffs.
I think the beginning part of that is what Monangai and DeAndre Swift have become, similar to Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery. Sure. And also, we credited Dan Campbell so much with the physicality and the culture of the offense in Detroit, but I feel like we see that from Ben Johnson now because he makes that come alive schematically. For me, they're like Allen Iverson, right? They're the answer. And you try to figure out, okay, how do you have this close game against the Minnesota Vikings? You find a way to get the huge kickoff return. Then we see Caleb Williams finish against the Giants. Well, when Jalen Hunt got this interception, I was like, okay, there's the play. Yeah. Right now, the Philadelphia Eagles will find a way. You have a Nation Wright forced fumble on the tush push, and then you have a big run by Monangai to get them from within their own goal line. Yeah. And they continue to move the ball until you have a 4th and 5. And now you have a decision to make. And you go to Colston Loveland, right, your rookie tight end who started this season off slow, starting to come around and be a playmaker. And Monungai finishes with physicality in the red zone. To me, this team always has the appropriate response to adversity, which is very difficult for a young football team. And Ben Johnson is creating that sort of culture.
I thought it was so impressive. They went into the defending Super Bowl champion's house. Quarterback played like a C game, and the game wasn't even close. I think that schematically, they stress you so much, and then physically, they stress you so much. They're a handful when it comes to defending the run.
I want to say this about the quarterback, right? Because there was much of this game, he was below 50%. But when they needed plays from him with his legs and with his arms, he found ways to make those in critical football moments. And those are the things that Caleb Williams has to do to make sure this team can continue winning, Laura.
Yeah, the Bears have won 9 of their last 10 games.
6-7. Pittsburgh up 7-3 at the half, but the Bills dominated in the second half, outscoring the Steelers 23-0. Fans not only booed, they chanted "Fire Tomlin." Take a listen. Oh, those fans. They're wonderful, aren't they? Just fun. Herm Edwards with us, Damon Woody also here. Damon, you just heard the fans' perspective and how they feel about their coach. What's your perspective on Mike Tomlin and his future with the Steelers?
Yeah, listen, I think it's about time for the Pittsburgh Steelers and Mike Tomlin to part ways. And I still hold Mike Tomlin in high regard. I still think he's a fantastic head coach, but there comes a point in time. Mike Tomlin's been with the Pittsburgh Steelers 19 years. And you're talking about a team in the Pittsburgh Steelers that haven't had a playoff win since 2016. Has the message gotten old? You know, I'm going to use a Mike Tomlinism. The standard is the standard. Well, what's the standard in Pittsburgh right now? Okay, they haven't held up to the standard that this organization has had for many, many years, and that's, you know, a 6-time world champion. And so, listen, we've seen this story kind of play out before. Andy Reid had the situation where in Philadelphia, where he had success with the Eagles, moved on to the Kansas City Chiefs, and look how he's had success with that organization. And so I just think, like, at the end of the year, that it's time. It's time for Mike Tomlin and Pittsburgh to move on.
Well, this is one of the best organizations in football. When you think about the Pittsburgh Steelers, they've had, 3 coaches in their careers, and Mike has been one of them. Obviously, he's had a long run there. I think a lot of this will have to do with this organization meeting with Mike. And Mike might be tired as well. He might need to change the scenery. I do know this. If he decides to leave, he'll get a job tomorrow, either in football or he might be sitting up here with us talking about football. So he's had a fabulous run there. But the fans, they have nothing to do with this. The Rooney family is one of the best families when it comes to football. Think about that. They've had 3 head coaches. Stability. I mean, big-time stability when you think about this family. And you know the problem with the Pittsburgh Steelers is, if you're a Pittsburgh fan? Think about this. When you were winning all those games, Terry Bradshaw was the quarterback. Ben Roethlisberger was the quarterback. Since those 2 guys left, they haven't been the same.
No, and they drafted Ben Roethlisberger, developed. You mentioned those 3 coaches, Chuck Noll, Bill Cowher, and now Mike Tomlin. I mean, 19 years as a head coach is absolutely unheard of in this day and age. And coming off the loss, Aaron Rodgers, Pittsburgh quarterback, called the game a boo-worthy performance. He also spoke about his receivers. Take a listen.
When there's film sessions, everybody shows up. And when I check to a route, you do the right route. We have our meetings every week. We have other opportunities outside of the facility, and look forward to seeing all the boys there.
All right, so he threw his players under the bus. What do you make of that?
I thought if you listen to the whole thing, he was fabulous. You clipped what he talked about. Not just that part, the whole segment. And you show it to your team. This is a professional answer. This is a professional football player. This is what it takes to be a professional footballer. He put himself in there. He didn't blame the coaches. It was on the players. And Damian knows this. Players play and coaches coach. At the end of the day, players got to get it done on the field. And Aaron Rodgers, look, he got hit. He got beat up. He's going to turn 42 years old.